Hi parents, Kirk Jones, high school pastor, North Coast Fallbrook, with the weekend recap from March 17th. Yesterday we talked about, we're continuing our series, How to Be a Christian in a very practical sense. So we talked about our emotions and drama and things like that, and how if we can deal with our emotions in an appropriate way and not be dramatic, we're going to stand out from the crowd in a good way. Talked a little bit about this whole idea of the more wrapped up we are in the world, the more it's going to affect us. And the more wrapped up we are in our relationship with God, the less circumstances in the world are going to affect us. Now, hear me out on this, because I think it's kind of a very sensitive topic. So sensitive, in fact, that we almost didn't address it. The intent was never, and I don't think it ever came across this way, that emotions are a bad thing, especially when dealing with the ladies in our ministry. Wouldn't ever want them to hear, like, don't be an emotional person, don't be an emotional being. We see God several times in the Bible be emotional. And so I think one of the best examples here is we used the story of Jesus and the disciples on the boat, and the storm comes. And they are rocked. They're a little dramatic. And the first time you read the story, you think, whoa, Jesus is kind of overreacting when he tells the disciples, you need to chill out. Like, hey, it's a storm. It's a big deal. You have every right to be dramatic here. But the fact of the matter is that earlier in the story, it mentions that Jesus told the disciples that they were going to get to the other side. The story also mentions that this wasn't the only boat out on the lake. And so to kind of wrap things up, it's this whole idea that we can deal with life like everyone else and just blend in like the rest of the world, be dramatic, and when life happens and gets difficult, we can make it a big deal and we can put the spotlight on us. But we don't have to do that. And so the disciples could have, in fact, I wish the story would have gone that they're out on the boat and they're yelling to the other boats, hey, it's going to be all right. Jesus said we're going to get to the other side. And instead, they kind of blow this awesome witnessing opportunity. And I think we often do that. The world is going to scrutinize us. They're going to look at us, and they're going to be watching us to see how we handle and deal with life. Jesus was an emotional person. He hurt when it was appropriate to hurt. He was happy when it was appropriate to be happy. There's nothing there about emotions. But when life hit him, and life got very difficult for that guy, his core was not rocked because he was not invested in this world. So he didn't get dramatic. And what an amazing testament and witness that is to the world. We now have the opportunity to go out, if our relationship with the Lord is strong, and have that same witness. So it's this idea, emotions, good thing, healthy, totally. We can use emotions poorly if we want. But this idea of being dramatic and making it sometimes almost theatrical when life hits its woe is me is definitely hurting our witness. So next week we're going to be talking about pure speech and what that actually looks like. It's not just this idea of, oh, hey, yeah, let's have pure speech, but really kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty, things like that. So hope this helps with conversations, things like that. If you have any more questions, you can email me, call me, a bunch of ways you can get a hold of me. Thanks. See you next week.